All right, so this is page or practice number 3, and let's take a look at what we have here. All right, so we have line A, which is on a velocity time graph. It's going down towards 0. So this line A right here is going down towards 0. And so we'll say that it is in the positive direction because it's still above our time axis, right? So anything that is in this area right here is going to be going in the positive direction. So actually, since all of our lines are in the positive area, we'll just go ahead and say that's in the positive. Okay. And so let's take a look at what's happening with A. A has a line that's going down, so it goes at a high velocity and it goes down towards 0. And so when something is going at a high velocity like that, we'll say that it is slowing down. So it starts off high and then it gets to low. So it's slowing down. That's a little bit illegible. Let me rewrite that in. Okay, so slowing down. Now B, okay, so B is now going up like this. So B is going up. And so what we'll say is that it had a low velocity and then it goes up. So it is speeding up. And then C has that flat line. And so when it has a flat line like this, then that means that it's going at one speed only and it is constant. All right, and now let's take a look at D. D is going up, but not quite as much as B. So it's still speeding up, but speeding up slowly. So speeding up, but slowly. All right, so now let's take a look at the graphs with the initial velocity. So we're taking a look at their initial velocity to the greatest initial velocity. Okay, so we're going to take a look at everything that's in the initial velocity area. So this area right here. So we're going to take a look at this for initial velocity. All right, and it looks like that the closest to 0 would be B and D. So B is equal to D. And then the next one up, we have C, and the last one we have A. And so B and D start off at 0, and then C, then A when looking at the y-axis. And then you have to say of a velocity time graph. So you can't just say, look at the y-axis, because we don't know what kind of graph you're looking at. So you make sure you have to say exactly that you're looking at the velocity time graph. All right, and so now we're going to rank the graphs from least to greatest acceleration. So that means we're going to take a look at the slopes. All right, so the value of the slopes. So since we don't have like actual numbers, what we can do is take a look at the quality. Okay, so on a velocity time graph, if it's this, so that means slope is 0. Okay, and if it's steep, right, then that means high acceleration. And if it's flat like this, then that means it's low acceleration. So we're going to take a look at the flattest one, which is going to be C. So C is pretty flat. And then the next flattest one would probably be D, and then B, then A. So we're taking a look at the steepness of the slope. Okay, and the next one is we're going to take a look at the least displacement to the greatest displacement. So we're going to take a look at, let me just erase this really quick. So which one would have the smallest area? All right, so let's take a look at area D here. So we have D, and if we color this in, this is going to be the smallest area, right? And compare it to B, when we color in B, so when we color in B, it has a larger area than D. So we'll say D has the lowest area. All right, so D, and then maybe B. All right. And so when we color it in, we want to kind of see who has the bigger area. All right. And so then now let's take a look at B, or now we have to determine if it's C or A that has the biggest area. So let me just change the color to purple and then let's color this in. All right. So this is C. All right. So then C obviously is much bigger than B and D. And then let's take a look at A. So A is going to have this area. Okay, so this area that I'm coloring in blue. So we're going to take a look at who has the more area. Okay, and so we want to say that probably B or A has, I think A would probably be a bigger area than C. Okay, and so we'll say A is bigger than C. So looking at the area. So looking at how large the area under the graph is. Okay, and so that is going to be for practice page 3.